The male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's definitely a real thing. But you know what the real epidemic is? I'm gonna tell you what the real epidemic is. Purposeless, weak, and desperate men. That's the real epidemic. If you have a purpose in life as a man, you can't be lonely. You don't have time to think about, oh, I'm lonely. Oh, I'm desperate. I need a girlfriend to solve my problems. You don't have time to think about that because your purpose consumes it all. You have a you have a purpose. You're a man. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a purpose in life, you can't you cannot you don't have time to think about stuff like that. The real problem is the fact that the majority of these, actually, you know what, let me backtrack a little bit. A lot of these men's purpose is chasing women, chasing tail. That's their purpose in life. The majority of these dudes wake up, get straight on their phone, go on the dating app, and start swiping right on everything. Everything that they see on that dating app, start swiping right. Most of these dudes, man, they'll use up all of their swipes. Wait till 12 o'clock or however long it takes the next day, get right back on and start swiping right on everything. That's their purpose, and that's the problem. Most of you dudes don't have a real purpose in life. Most of you dudes can only think about women. And you know what? When I really think about it, the more and more I live and the older I get and the more and more I see society in the direction that it's going in, if I was a woman, like I say things about how, these women, they just using guys and whatnot, and blah blah blah. And I used to combat a bunch of people, and I used to combat women in particular who used to say, oh yeah, these guys are so gullible, these guys are easy, blah blah blah. But the more and more I live and the more I see how society is turning in, or what society is turning into, I really am starting to see these women's point. If I was a woman, I would be going crazy finessing these dudes. I can't even be mad because these girls are playing the game. I can't even be mad because some of you dudes are so desperate and so gullible to where it really makes me question, like, how can you believe some of the things that you guys do? All you dudes that are subscribed to these girls OnlyFans, to pay a subscription to a girl that doesn't even know you exist. I mean, how desperate can you be? That's the real problem. Yeah, it's true. The women with OnlyFans, their problems. We don't mess with those. But the real problem is you dudes enabling that. You're enabling the fact that these girls can finesse you out of everything you have for some feet pics. I mean, how desperate, how much of a loser do you have to be to pay these women hard-earned money that you have for them to not even know your name and send you random feet pics that they sent to 500 other dudes that are subscribed to their OnlyFans? If I was a woman, I would be finessing these men like crazy. I can't even blame them because some of you dudes do it to yourself. The male loneliness epidemic, it wouldn't even be a thing if dudes really found their life's purpose and stopped doing these things that that make women look down on men. Like most of these dudes, right? Most of these dudes are so that, like, I've realized, like, talking to some of these dudes, you can't force some. What's the old saying? You can lead a horse to drink. You can lead a horse to the lake, but you can't make him drink. It's how it is with some of these dudes. A lot of these dudes. Talking to a lot of these dudes is like talking to a brick wall. Oh yeah, like you'll say something like, "Dude, you need to stop. You need to unsubscribe from that girl's OnlyFans. Stop double texting her. Stop blowing up her phone. She don't want you. Oh yeah, yeah, man. We done with that. We ain't gonna pay attention to her. Soon as you're alone, right on your phone, double texting, triple texting, sending message after message, wondering where she's at. Little do you know, little do little do you know, she's at some place you can't afford. She's what was that? What was that Drake line from that song? I forgot. I forgot what it was, but it was I forgot what it was, but it was a Drake line uh doing something that you couldn't afford in your budget or something like that. It was 5 a.m. in Toronto. A song that's where the song that's where the lyric is from that song. In any case, most of you dudes, it just came to me, whiling, doing stuff that's way out of your budget. That's what she's doing. Doing stuff that's way out of your budget while you double, triple, quadruple texting her. Still purposeless. The male loneliness epidemic, it doesn't even have to be a thing if dudes would just wise up. All it takes, man, and that's the thing, like most guys don't even have standards. Most guys don't even have standards for themselves. They don't have a set of principles. They don't have honor. They don't have honor to themselves. They don't have principles for themselves. And that's what really messes them up. And so when you meet a girl and she does barely the bare minimum, makes you something you could do. She makes you ramen noodles. She makes you spaghetti. Something you could do by yourself. She starts vacuuming the floor. Something you could do by yourself. And then you go back, you go to your homies, you go to the office, you're like, oh yeah, my girl, she cooks and cleans and she does all this. I got her on lock. No, she's got you on lock. Because that's all it took for her. Something that you could do by yourself, cooking ramen noodles and spaghetti, and you just, oh yeah, I gotta keep her right here. Vacuum is something you could do by yourself, and you go back to the office, start bragging. Little do you know, she's got a grip on you, making sure that you're staying on your toes because she ain't gonna tell you, but she's got other dudes in her circle. She's got other dudes that are flirting with her, trying to make advances to her. She'll never tell you though, and you'll never know because you think you got a winner because you're not on your purpose because all you're doing is just wasting away doing nothing. Most of you guys, man, you gotta wise up. You gotta make sure that you understand how the world works and just find your purpose. It's not easy. I'm not gonna sit here and say finding your purpose is easy. Sometimes it takes people years to decades to find their purpose in life. But that's why you got to start trying new things and not just chasing women all the time. Some of you guys, like I said, is that's your purpose. It's chasing women. You got to stop that. That can't be your purpose because you're only gonna waste your time, your money, everything. Time is the most valuable thing we have on earth. Stop wasting it and actually figure something out for yourself. Stop wasting time. The male loneliness epidemic is real, but it can be solved. It can be solved one man at a time, but most guys don't want to. It's really up to you to figure stuff like that out. And after that, once you figure that out, the world is yours. Nothing else you really got to worry about. The world is yours, and life itself will start looking better for you. And then, like I said, life is yours at the point. Like, comment, subscribe. Come back here for more videos like this. Share with your friends if you want to. The world is yours.